Hey guys, welcome back to another installation video from your friends at MTX. Today I want to take a little time and talk to you about our new subwoofer enclosure for the RZR kits. Some of the features, some of the functions, and I'm going to show you how to install it, so stay tuned. All right guys, one of the first things I want to go through with you is the hardware that's included with this kit. You'll notice a bunch of 10mm bolts, one long bolt, but the biggest thing we get questions on is this bracket setup. Now, it's really simple, and I want to kind of base it on the old dash versus the new dash, or the 2014 to the 2018. They're going to use both brackets. Now, when you get into the new dash style, with the ride command and all that sort of stuff, you're not going to need this front bracket. So if you have a 2019 or a 2020 and you're wondering what to do with this bracket, put it in your toolbox. Use it for something else. You don't need it at all. As a matter of fact, if you get that in there, you'll notice some fitment issues with your top pocket. So just eliminate that. All right, guys, now that we've gone through all the hardware that we need on this, let's talk a little bit about the enclosure and some of its cool features. First off, the cap. Everybody wants to know what the cap's for. The cap is a couple of things. The cap is a sealed or ported enclosure. It's also protection for your driver when you go into deep water situations or mud. So you know you like the sound of a ported box, but you know you're also going mud bogging with your friends this weekend. You still want tunes? You simply put your cap on. The subwoofer, this is carried over from our car audio line, which we're known for high output subwoofers, so that's really a no-brainer. This is a kick butt woofer. Moving on to the plug. Seems simple enough. Sealed watertight plug that plugs directly into our plug and play kits for our Thunder kits. But you could simply remove this plug and wire it into any amplifier you want. Just make sure you stay within the specifications of the driver. You can see all the hardware we talked about, and it's slide mount, which makes it really easy to install, which you'll see later in the videos. Last but not least, on every contact point on this subwoofer enclosure, you'll see we put an extra thick neoprene padding to stop any vibrations by dampening the surface. All right, guys, now that we've gone over the features and some of the functions of this, let's see how it goes into the vehicle. To remove the existing glove box, you're simply going to remove the two 10mm bolts in the top center, just below the T-handle bracket. Once the bolts are removed, simply pull it towards you. We need to remove one bolt from the firewall. It's located directly above the passenger side left footrest. When prepping the subwoofer enclosure for installation, use the larger of the two brackets supplied. Insert the bracket into the recess on the top of the subwoofer enclosure. Using a 10mm bolt, insert it into the slot on the subwoofer side of the enclosure. Hand tighten, allowing the bracket to still slide. To install the subwoofer box, insert the enclosure underneath the T-handle grab bar, push firmly upward and against the back wall. Slide the bracket over, insert a second 10mm bolt in the center slot of the bracket. Install the four remaining 10mm bolts into the inserts in the enclosure. Only hand tighten at this point. You're going to insert the lower screw into the hole where you removed the initial T40 from over the left footrest on the passenger side. Tighten it all the way down. Return to the top of the enclosure and tighten all your hardware. Well, as you can see, it's pretty easy to install. But if you got any questions on disassembly and reassembly of the vehicle, refer to our full-length videos on YouTube. Again, any questions, concerns, or comments, hit us up on any of our social media posts. We'd love to hear from you. post away. All right, so that pretty much does it for this video. I hope we answered all your questions. We'll see you next time, and enjoy the bass. I love it so.